Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you two further examples of how we can do multiplication and division of algebraic fractions where the fractions involved are rather complicated. So looking at example 5, we've got x squared minus x all over x minus 2 multiplied by 3x take 6 all divided by 4x minus 4. So what you can see is it's quite a lot going on here. Now, the way in which I'm going to show you how to simplify these problems is firstly, we're going to try and factorize both the numerator and denominator. And then we're going to see if we can simplify before we do any form of multiplication whatsoever. Reason for this is if we simply go straight in and we multiply the numerators and the denominators out by one another, what we're going to end up with is a huge polynomial mess. Rather, we want something nice and simple, because simple is easy to read. So jumping into it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and factorize both of these fractions here. Now, looking at the first fraction, or the first fraction's numerator, we have x squared minus x. And we ask ourselves, can we factorize this? And the answer is yes, we can. If we look at what's common between x squared and x, there's a common x. So what that means is that we take out the common x and we're left with an x take 1. So that's factorized. Now, going down, we look at x minus 2. Can we factorize that? And the answer is no, we cannot. So I'm just going to throw in some brackets and then put in x minus 2. That's the best we can do at this stage. Now, looking at 3x minus 6, can we factorize this? The answer is yes, there's a common 3. So I pull out the 3, I create some brackets, and then I'm going to write x take 2. Drawing my division line. I now turn my attention to the second denominator, 4x minus 4. There is a common 4 between them, and thus what I'm left with is 4 take 1. Alright, now we're in a position to try and do some multiplication, but I'm not going to multiply everything out using the distributive law. Rather, I'm simply going to collapse these two fractions into a single fraction. So what that's going to look like is I'm going to take the factors on the outside of the brackets, so this x and this 3, and I'll multiply those together to give me 3x. Now, opening up the brackets, I'm going to get 1, 2, 1, 2. First bracket will go x take 1. Second bracket will go x take 2. Thus, our numerator is complete. Now let's go for our denominator. We look at the variables, or we look at the factors outside the brackets. So the first one, x minus 2, there's an implied 1 there, so we can safely ignore that. Then we've got this 4. So our 4 comes out here, and then we open up two brackets, 2, and then we write x take 2, x take 1. Alright, now you might be tempted to open up these brackets even further using the distributive law, but that would create a mess. Rather, what we're going to do is we're going to see, can we simplify this? And we have a look and we say, well, is there anything common between the numerator and the denominator? Now, looking at what's outside the brackets, so this 3x and this 4, there's nothing common there, but we've got this x minus 1, and then we've got the x minus 1 down here. And secondly, we have the x minus 2 and the x minus 2 here. What we're going to do is, because we've got double up, we can ignore them because they're going to cancel out, and therefore our final result is 3x all over 4. So we've gone from x squared minus x all over x minus 2 times 3x minus 6 all over 4x minus 4, all the way down to 3x over 4. So nice and simple. Going downward. Example 6, we have 5r minus 20 all over 4 divided by 2r minus 8 all over 3. And we want to simplify this. Now, to simplify this, I'm going to use the same step as before in that I'm going to try and factorize both the numerator and denominator of both of these fractions. So factorizing that, we look at 5r minus 20. We turn our attention, is there anything common between 5r and 20? And the answer, of course, is yes, there's a common 5. So if we pull out our 5, like so, and open up our brackets, we're going to be left with r take 4. And all of that is over 4. Secondly, we've got 2r minus 8. Can we factorize that? And the answer is yes. If we take out a common 2, open up our bracket, we're going to be left with r minus 4. And you might see where we're going with already. And now we've got the 3 down in the denominator still. Okay. Next step is we have to flip the numerator and denominator to change this guy into a multiplication. So, writing this out, we get the following. And then simplifying this, we'll bring the multiplication together. 5 times 3, that's 15. And then we've got our r take 4. And that's all over 2. r take 4. Therefore, we have common r take 4, like so. They cancel out 2. Now you have a choice. You can leave it like that, that's fine. Or if you want to, you can simplify it down to 7.5. It all depends on what the question is asking for. And secondly, personal choice. If the question says leave your answer as a fraction, then leave it like this. If it doesn't specify, then it's up to you. You can either leave it as a fraction or you can change it to a decimal. So this concludes the 2 examples.